Gold just realized its biggest yearly gain since 2010, and Wall Street says it's going even higher. Heading into 2025, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are both forecasting $3,000 an ounce gold and paltry returns for stocks. Call the proud Americans of the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Mention the Still Report, and you'll always get best-in-class service from Patriots protecting patriots. Call 888-753-1647 for a free investor guide today. Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer 7 years in a row. Call 888-753-1647.
J.D. Vance is right. Today in Europe, freedom isn't threatened from the outside, but from within. Everyone sees there's a problem. The whole system is creaking and crumbling. Change is needed. This can't go on. Even our opponents know this. My friends, there are two plans on the table. One is the liberal plan, the other is the patriotic plan for Europe. The liberal plan considers the old, culturally rooted Christian Europe outdated. They want to move past it. For decades, they've been working to fabricate a new identity in place of Christianity and the nation. First, I remember well, they came with prosperity. Abandon your traditions and Europe will be a world of happy, limitless consumption. That didn't work. Then they said Europe would be the continent of inclusion. And we ended up with Belgian-Israeli football matches having to be held in Budapest instead of Brussels. And now, after Trump's victory, here's the new idea. Europe wants to be the bastion of the global liberal empire. Liberals are fleeing from America to Brussels. After Washington, Brussels is their new Mecca. But my friends, the biggest problem with Brussels isn't even that it's ruled by progressive liberal bureaucrats. The biggest problem is that Brussels is pro-war. While the United States has finally become pro-peace, Brussels has dragged us into war. According to the liberal plan, Europe must be centralized under the pretext of war. If there's war, then more Brussels, less sovereignty. According to the liberal plan, Europe must build a new economic model, a war economy, under the pretext of war. In their minds, war is the engine of the economy. Joint debt, centralized control, and a war treasury. The key to this liberal plan is Ukraine. Ukraine's accelerated EU membership is the perfect pretext for reorganizing Europe for war. The liberal plan leads to a warlike, centralized and indebted Europe, where there is no freedom, only obedience. That's the problem with Hungary. The Hungarian is a free spirit. It thrives freely and doesn't easily bend the knee. Instead of obedience and submission, it follows its own mind. We have a plan too, a patriotic plan. It has 4 points. First, we want peace. No new Eastern Front, so no EU membership for Ukraine. Second, we created a plan that's simply victorious. National schools, fearless streets and neighborhoods. We want to be proud of our nations. This is the Patriotic plan. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, European politics for the next few years will be about which plan prevails. This battle must first be won at home by everyone, and then together in Brussels. Last year's European parliamentary election was a brilliant success. If I add up the three right-wing factions, we're bigger than the EPP. Of course, politics isn't just math, but the direction is clear. Unity is needed, slowly, step by step, steadily. By the time the decisive battle comes, we must be united. But first, dear friends, everyone must win at home. The polls, dear Matthias, this Sunday. The Czechs, dear Andrei, this fall. Us next spring. And then the French. And then we're set. Then we can begin taking back Brussels into the hands of the patriots. For this, we need America. We need President Trump's successful governance. We need the dismantling of the American and Brussels liberal conspiracy, the transatlantic deep state. We need the American liberal money taps turned off. In other words, European and American patriots need each other. The mission is clear. The task is not complicated. Go home and win your elections. Just win. The rest will follow like clockwork. After America, it's Europe's turn. We'll take back our dreams and occupy Brussels. Let's make Europe great again.
On December 14th, 2012, my 7-year-old son Daniel was shot to death in his first grade classroom at Sandy Hook Elementary School. The shooter shot and killed 26 individuals in about 4 minutes using...
I stood here and said that Donald Trump would win the American elections. He won. Next year, there will be elections in Hungary. Are there any more questions? Good day, my friends, old and new patriots. God bless you. Welcome back, everyone. We have a fantastic gathering this year. In Europe today, no one could assemble a better group than this. Thank you for being here together. Here are Europe's strongest, patriotic, sovereignist political leaders. In fact, many are here from America as well. The toughest, most determined, and most experienced leaders. Those who have been fighting in international politics for their homelands for decades. Those who have faced countless attacks, brutality, and smear campaigns. Those who know that without suffering there is no victory. Those who understand that victory requires not only hard work, but also enduring pain. Just as President Trump's example shows, European liberals and progressives wouldn't survive half of what our leaders have endured. They endured, stood firm, rose again when needed, and won. European liberals would break down, crying and run away, hiding behind the skirts of progressive journalists, under half the attacks our leaders have withstood. Our leaders not only stood their ground, but also achieved incredible things in their countries. Here is our friend Metzschlepp, the embodiment of perseverance. He turned the Patriots into a global brand. When this conference approaches, liberals worldwide tuck their tails and retreat. He was the one who recognized during the Biden era that the source of conservative intellectual renewal lies in Central Europe. He realized that what we accomplish on a small scale, in Hungary's size, can be done on a grand scale in America as well. He brought the first European gathering of patriots to Hungary. We owe it to him and our friend Miklos Santo that we are here today. Thank you very much. And here with us is Irakli Kobakidze, the international patriot, the geological hero of the movement. He won an election against the entire liberal world. He crushed the progressives, a defeat they rarely experience. And meanwhile, he achieved Europe's largest economic growth. All this while, 20% of his country is under the Russian bear's paw. He didn't let Brussels force them into war. He didn't let them become the second Ukraine. What a victory, what a success. God bless you, Irakli. And here is our Macedonian hero, Christian Miskoski. He won the election, my friends, despite all of Brussels supporting his opponent. He is our fortress captain, defending Europe's southern borders against migration. Vivat Macedonia! And today, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Robert Fico will also speak to us. Don't forget, he is the toughest among us. He took 5 bullets, almost killed. The incited, enraged liberal mob fired 5 bullets at him. And today he is here with us, fighting as if nothing happened. The world has never seen anything like this. He is Europe's greatest comeback story. Thank you, Robert, for setting an example for us. And here comes Andrej Babiš, the former and future Prime Minister of the Czech Republic. Dear Andrej, what battles we fought for years. Late into the night, in Brussels, against the overwhelming majority of pro-migration prime ministers. Andrei, today Hungary is a migration-free zone. This wouldn't have been possible without Andrei Babiš. Thank you, and we look forward to your return. And I greet Santiago Abascal, our Spanish hero. My friends, today in Spain, we endure the most brutal oppression. True, the French and Germans can't complain either. But what's happening in Spain is unprecedented. If it were a fair race, Vox would already be leading Spain, and that moment is not far off, dear Santiago, our captain. And I ask my friends that we embrace Mateusz Morawiecki. He comes from a real battlefield. On Sunday, there's a presidential election in Poland. Long live the Poles. If you want to know, my friends, what true liberal democracy looks like, ask him. Incredible things are happening in Poland. They trample on every European rule and constitutional principle. And Brussels tolerates this. Tolerates. They support it. What a disgrace. I've been in European politics for 35 years, but I've never seen such a shameful thing as what they're doing to the Poles, to PIS. The Brussels leadership should resign for this alone. God bless you, Mateusz. And here with us is President Alice Weidel, representing the family of sovereign nations in Europe. Madam President, your visit is especially important to us. We all know that our main adversary in Brussels is a German, Herr Weber, Hungarophobic, petty and vindictive. And for us Hungarians, it's good to see that there are decent Germans who love their homeland more than Brussels. God bless you, Madam President. And we have a fighter from Austria, Herbert Kickl. At his invitation, we laid the cornerstone of the Patriots in Vienna, on which this great party has since been built. If there were justice, Austria's Chancellor today would be Herbert Kickl. He won the election, but they stole the chancellorship from him. Dear Herbert, politics may not always be fair. It's not always just. But believe me, there is a moral balance in it. Your time will come, and we'll throw a great celebration in Vienna when Austria returns to the club of patriotic countries. God bless you. And there is someone among us, Europe's bravest warrior. He endures extraordinary hardships. He never talks about it. He doesn't say anything because he's modest. And because he's Dutch. You know, the Dutch think talking about personal emotions is somewhat improper. Our Dutch hero lives in constant mortal danger. He lives under the shadow of threats. Bodyguards protect him. He doesn't have a single moment of peace. Perhaps only here in Hungary. He's at the top of the fanatics' blacklist. Meanwhile, he gets no kind words from his own leftist progressive compatriots, only attacks. A man who doesn't complain, only serves, steadfastly, without ever stepping back. God bless you, we're proud of you, Geert Wilders. And we have with us French, Israelis, Middle Eastern Christians, a paragraph from Hazar, and Tony Abbott from Australia. All outstanding, fighting, and remarkable people. I greet you too. God bless you in Hungary. My friends, what a change in just 1 year. A true civilizational turning point. Donald Trump won. The Trump tornado swept through the world and completely transformed it. He restored hope to the world. We won't drown in the woke sea. We won't be overrun by migrants. He restored hope for a normal life. He restored hope for peace. Many helped him. Congratulations to those who were part of that fantastic American victory. This is the greatest comeback in the history of the Western world. The one big, beautiful comeback. And what a slap in the face, dear friends. What a slap to the left, that he not only returned, but is doing exactly what he promised his voters. This isn't just possible in Hungary. President Trump's first 100 days are a true serum of justice, not only for America, but for the entire Western world. Came illegally? Go home. He repealed the Schengen decrees. He banished critical race theory. He expelled woke ideology from the military. He took on the deep state. He exposed the global liberal network. Everything we thought was true has been revealed. Federal agents, shadow institutions, money laundering machines, political and politician funding in foreign countries, including Hungary. The entire Soros empire stands exposed before us. The naked emperor is quite an ugly sight. My friends, the light is finally shining into the darkest corners. There's panic here too in Hungary. Here's the new law. If you're involved in politics, you can't accept money from abroad. It's that simple. And the hope for peace has returned too. We hope soon hundreds won't have to die daily on the front lines. We hope cities won't have to be destroyed. And we hope billions of dollars won't have to be poured into an unwinnable war. Donald Trump's victory and the fall of the liberals are like a dream. The United States can be saved, and the American dream can return. But what about us? What about the European dream? We had a dream too. Our European dream was that if we European peoples unite, there will be no more wars. Then we can live in prosperity and safety. Let's work together. Let sovereign states unite, and let's create the safest and most advanced continent in the world. That would be the European Union, European integration. But my friends, this dream has been stolen. Brussels stole it. It derailed our future. Instead of the European dream, we're getting a nightmare. European people don't feel safe in their own countries, their own cities, their own streets. They've become strangers where they were at home 20 years ago. It's simple math. Their cities are being taken from them. This isn't integration. It's organized population replacement. Instead of European prosperity, companies are going bankrupt. We pay 2 or 4 times more for electricity and gas than in the United States. The Green Deal, the green transition, is killing our economies. It's becoming a parody, and now, when we should be negotiating trade and values with a heavyweight American president, it turns out we only have lightweight leaders. And European freedom is gone too. Things have gotten rough in Europe. The fiercest power struggle is underway. They respect neither God nor man. They exclude people from presidential races with court rulings. They drag Salvini to court. The AFD is under national security investigations. Patriots events are forcibly disrupted. Communist leftist thugs attack conservatives. J.D. Vance is right. Today in Europe, freedom isn't threatened from the outside, but from within. Everyone sees there's a problem. The whole system is creaking and crumbling. Change is needed. This can't go on. Even our opponents know this. My friends, there are two plans on the table. One is the liberal plan, the other is the patriotic plan for Europe. The liberal plan considers the old, culturally rooted Christian Europe outdated. They want to move past it. For decades, they've been working to fabricate a new identity in place of Christianity and the nation. First, I remember well, they came with prosperity. Abandon your traditions and Europe will be a world of happy, limitless consumption. That didn't work.